the fact that North Korea has admitted this in public, and the fact that Kim Jong-un has issued statements calling on the officials to be held accountable for their criminal actions, as he said, but also making clear that this warship, the destroyed warship, will be repaired as soon as possible, highlights very clearly how I think North Korea wants to present the image of itself as a normal country to domestic audiences where mishaps do happen. But what's crucial is not just the fact that mishaps happen, it's how you respond to them. And I think for international audiences, Kim Jong-un is making very clear that North Korea is now fully emboldened and has no intention of rowing back this naval modernization program. After all great powers have strong and modernized navies.
We're going to head to North Korea, where their leader Kim Jong-un has condemned a serious accident during the launch of a new warship last week. He called it a criminal offence, with 4 officials arrested over it. The latest just a few hours ago, the 5,000-ton destroyer tipped over and damaged its hull, and the North Korean leader said Wednesday's incident was caused by absolute carelessness, irresponsibility and unscientific empiricism, adding it severely damaged dignity and pride. Let's talk to Dr Edward Howell, who's an international relations lecturer and Korea specialist at Oxford University. Dr Howell, welcome. Maybe put this incident in context. What were people watching as it happened and unfolded before everyone's eyes?
Thank you very much. Well, this is a new 5,000-ton destroyer, a missile-capable destroyer. And a few days ago, when the ship was due to be launched, what we saw was the boat capsize. It tipped over. The bow of the warship was still attached to the quay. Its starboard side was submerged into the water. The bottom of the ship was severely damaged, and the ship was basically not going to stay in balance. And this, as Kim Jong-un said, and as North Korean state media detailed in quite a lot of detail actually, was a very embarrassing incident for the North Korean leader, particularly given the fact that only a month ago Kim Jong-un and his daughter Kim Ju-ae had actually been present at the unveiling of a similar 5,000-ton destroyer, which went without a hitch.
Well, the one that went with a hitch, as described by you, sounds spectacular. In any country, in any port around the world, it would be very, very embarrassing. But I sense that in North Korea, it comes with consequences that might not be quite as inconsequential as they would be anywhere else in the world.
Yes, and North Korean state media over the past few days has named and shamed several individuals, including one of the managers of the shipyard at Chongjin, and other officials, including officials involved in the munitions industry department, who are likely to face consequences. Obviously, we don't know exactly what consequences they will face. More than likely, at the bare minimum, they will be out of their jobs. I think what's interesting here, though, is that this is not the first time that North Korea has admitted failure, whether in terms of its economic policies or in terms of military technology. We saw similar admissions of failure 2 years ago with respect to North Korea's military reconnaissance satellite launch. But what happens moving forward is crucial for North Korea, because actually this highlights very clearly that North Korea has absolutely no intention of pulling the plug on this particular development of the warship, and it wants to modernize its military, its naval capabilities, and crucially its nuclear and missile capabilities full steam ahead.
To return just to the accident we were talking about at the beginning, it just feels, for such a private, notoriously private, secretive country, how is this so public?
Well, the fact that North Korea has admitted this in public, and the fact that Kim Jong-un has issued statements calling on the officials to be held accountable for their criminal actions, as he said, but also making clear that this warship, the destroyed warship, will be repaired as soon as possible, highlights very clearly how I think North Korea wants to present the image of itself as a normal country to domestic audiences where mishaps do happen. But what's crucial is not just the fact that mishaps happen, it's how you respond to them. And I think for international audiences, Kim Jong-un is making very clear that North Korea is now fully emboldened and has no intention of rowing back this naval modernization program. After all great powers have strong and modernized navies, and North Korea's naval capabilities pale in comparison and in terms of sophistication and advancement to those of South Korea. So North Korea is likely to continue to modernize its military capabilities, even despite this incident.
And does their kit, if to use the expression, have a good reputation? I mean, it's being used in Ukraine, and indeed some of their troops, aren't they? But barring this disaster, are they otherwise producing quality material?
Well, North Korea's naval capabilities specifically are much more outdated compared to those of South Korea. But what's interesting about this particular new 5,000-ton destroyer is that it is highly likely that a lot of the technology used in its creation had been obtained from Russia. And this makes complete sense given the relationship between Moscow and Pyongyang. North Korea notoriously sending not just artillery but also missiles and troops to assist in Russia's war against Ukraine, and Russia giving North Korea not just food and financial assistance, but crucially advanced military technology and advanced missile technology. We know very little about the latter two components, but we know that this is what Kim Jong-un wants the most.
Well, thank you for that, Dr Edward Howell. Appreciate it. International Relations Lecturer and Korea Specialist at Oxford University. It's coming up to 17 minutes past 2 this Monday afternoon. Good to have your company. Keir Starmer might be backing down on benefit cuts, but does he have any nasty surprises coming his way? This is Ryan Tubridy on Times Radio, sponsored by Solar with Hive. Find out why Solar could be right for you at hivehome.com.
Wake up to Britain's brightest business bulletins with Times Radio business correspondent Dominic O'Connell.
For the latest business news and what it means for your money,